What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Yes, we are live here on Sunday night, Sunday evening, March. No, if look here, I'm still in March, y'all. April the 3rd, 2022. I know I haven't been live in a while, man. How long has it been? 10, 11 days or something like that? I'm just guessing. But it's been a minute, man. I've been spending some great quality time with my wife, my kids. Every time I say I'm going to go live, I end up saying, "No, we're going to watch a movie tonight, babe." And it's that simple, y'all. Just to let you know, I just really been chilling, hanging out with my family, making sure that when it's not dying and pressing, that I give them love and attention as well, because we know there are times during the season where I have to give the Miami Dolphins nothing but my love and attention. So I had to pick and choose when those sacrifices come. But I'm happy about it. Um, the time is now. We got to talk Dolphin football. I know a lot has happened. A lot has happened. Xavier Howard's deal. Um, Devante Parker gone, clearing up cap space. Jesse Davis out of there. A lot has happened. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to get a good stream in, hopefully hang out for about hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe more, just depends. But y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. We already got 180 people in the room. Shout out to our Facebook, Twitch, and what's that? Facebook family, Twitch family, Instagram in the house. But all y'all on YouTube, make sure that y'all hit the like button. Yes, punch that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about. I got to give you my take on everything that's going on, everything that's went down in the last few days. We're going to talk about this rare opportunity that the Dolphins have, and I'm just nervous about it, man. But we're going to get into all of that. G Firm, my homie, is in the building. He says, showing love, fins up, hold to it down at all costs. We going to have to, man. It's on the kid now. We got to see what he going to do this year. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see, how he develops and if he flourishes this year. So it's going to be interesting, all right? Anyway, we're about to get into it, but let's get the likes up. Let's get 100 likes on YouTube so that we could dive right in and get to work. Punch that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at it. TD Fans Talk, back at work. It's time to start putting this work in, man. Hope you had a great vacation. That's how I'm chalking it up. I'm like, well, I took a vacation. Came back from Dallas and I was like, let me just keep it going. All right. So that was pretty cool. We almost there, y'all. Hit that like button. Punch that like button. Let's get it up, y'all. What's up, EM? I see you, homie. Me and EM had a good conversation earlier. How much money we saved with Parker trade. We're going to talk about all of that. Our time is now, Fins fam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Super Bowl, baby. Chase Word. All right, where we at? Oh, we need 6 more likes. We almost there. Wide receiver Cole Beasley. What about him? Punch that like button, all right? Now time for the good stuff. Yes. Listen, man, I think the Miami Dolphins are still getting ready to make some type of move, man. What's up, Sean Tunsil? Salute to you, homie. Thank you for the welcome backs, everybody. All right, we over 100 likes. Let's dive in. Let's see. First thing first. Which one happened first? X got his money or Parker was out of here? X got his money first, right? That was the first thing that happened, right? If I'm not mistaken. All right, let's talk about it. So Xavier Howard gets an extension. It was a 3-year extension, if I'm not mistaken. No, a 2-year extension, excuse me. Fully guaranteed the $50 million. They gave the man $25 million a year. They gave him $25 million a year. I just got to be honest with y'all. It's beyond ridiculous. But I know why they did it. The Miami Dolphins are basically in a 2-year window, is what they told y'all. Okay. They put themselves in a 2-year window. You have to understand that Xavier Howard had no more guaranteed money left on his contract. So what this does is guarantee him 2 more years at $50 million. He's not going to be a $50 million cap hit over the next 2 years, though, because what they're doing is they extended him and gave him 2 years guaranteed, so he'll know that he's going to make 50 million. But what's happening here, the Dolphins have been playing a little bit of the Dallas Cowboys lately, extending contracts out and kicking a lot of money down the road, the dead cap money down the road, because he's not going to count against the cap. 25 million this year. He's barely going to count against the cap. Certainly not 25 million. Is going to be, I got to go look it up again, but I think it's like 16 or something like that. I'll bring it up while we're talking. But they're basically going for broke right now. They're going all in. They are telling you there is a 2-year window that they are trying to take advantage of, and that's what they're in right now. So although they'll be giving Xavier Howard guaranteed money, the beauty of it is it's not going to count towards the cap this year that heavy. They actually saved money this year by giving him his new deal, because what it does, he still had 3 years left on the contract, but no real guaranteed money. But the 2-year extension allows his deal to be worth 5 years, right? In those 5 years, the 50 million, they're going to try to shortball themselves for the first 2 years, so that even if he's not on the roster 3 years from now, they'll be able to spread the rest of the money out over 3 more years. So they're going for broke, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see if they have any other contract details listed yet as far as Spotrac from a yearly basis. Yes, they do. Okay. My point exactly. This year, Xavier Howard's cap hit is only $8.2 million. $8.2 million. Next year, the cap hit is $24.3 million. Now, what this does, it allows them, starting in 2024, to only have $11.5 million in dead cap. So if they decided to cut him in 2024, they could take that 11.5 and just divide it into 3 remaining years. That's what this deal was about, to give him more guaranteed money. And on top of the guaranteed money, to be able to lower the cap hit this year in the window, which they're going after it, right? And then on the back end, if it comes back to bite them, let's let them go. 2024, cut them, trade them, whatever we do, spread the rest of the dead cap, and it'll only be about $4 million per year for the last 3 years. But again, the reason why this is important, ladies and gentlemen, is because they're going for it all now. They're going for a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, 2022, 2023. The Dolphins are basically telling you, if we don't win a Super Bowl, it's a bust, and we're back to rebuilding. Let me prove it to you. The Xavier Howard deal already should prove that to you, right? The Xavier Howard deal should already prove that to you. Let me prove it to you further, okay? Give me a second. Let me give you another contract to prove it to you. I don't know why I keep spelling his name wrong, but I got it this time finally. Tyreek Hill, another contract. What's his cap hit this year? We're talking about a guy who's supposed to make $30 million every year. $30 million every year. His cap hit this year is $6.5 million. Next year is $31 million. But in 2024, just like Xavier Howard, he only has 15 million left on it. And if they decide to cut him in 2024 or trade him or move on, they could spread the 15 million out for the next 3 years. 5 million, 5 million, 5 million dead cap. Not that big of a deal. Everybody else that they signed, it was pretty much on a 2-year deal anyway, which further shows you that. Let's look at another one. Here we go. Teron Armstead. We're talking about a guy who got a contract, and the annual salary should be around $15 million a year. This year, his cap hit is only $4 million. Next year, $20 million. But in 2024, just like Xavier Howard and just like Tyreek Hill, he only has $7 million in dead cap with 3 years left on his contract. So if they decide to cut him, trade him, move on from him, whatever, they'll take that $7 million, divide it into 3 years of a cap hit, which is $2.5 million roughly. That's all they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. They're showing you that they're going for broke now. They're going for it all right now. That's what they're showing you. Look at the Mike Gesicki deal. Gesicki. Same thing. Franchise tag. And he might get it again next year. Same thing. One more, okay? One last one. Let's look at it. One last one. Emmanuel Ogbah, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last one. Let me show you. Average salary, $16.5 million roughly. This year, the cap hit is only about 11. Next year, it's 17. But in 2024, like everybody else, he only has a $4 million dead cap. So if they decide to trade, move on, whatever, cut him, whatever, they could take the $4 million divided into 2 years, and then it's only a dead cap of $2 million. So what the Miami Dolphins are telling you all is, in 2024, if what they're doing right now doesn't work, they could scrap the whole thing and only have about $14 million in dead cap between all 4 players. That's it. Do you know that Ndamukong Suh alone gave us $20 million a year dead cap? Like, you know how much dead cap we had from Ndamukong Suh? But the way that Chris Grier structured these contracts, in 2024, if he wanted to get rid of every single one of these great players that we re-signed, Emmanuel Ogbah, Xavier Howard, Teron Armstead, Tyreek Hill, it's only about a $14 million dead cap hit for the 3 years after that, 24, 25, and 26. So I have to say, we know we overpaid for Tyreek Hill. Ridiculous, $30 million for a receiver. I don't care how much of the top you take off. $30 million for a receiver, overpaid. But when you're going for it all at that moment, it is what it is. No need to complain. 2 years, that's it. Xavier Howard, $25 million a year for the next 2 years, pretty much guaranteed. Overpaid. But when you're going for it all, it is what it is. Teron Armstead, I actually think the contract was fair. It wasn't overpaid. But you're still going for it all. Emmanuel Ogbah, same thing. I think it was a fair contract, but you're going for it all. Now, I have to ask this question, though, because there's no more debate. People don't need to talk about, well, whatever we do this year, we build upon it. No. Reality check, ladies and gentlemen. This year isn't a year that they're looking to build upon unless it's one position, and that's the quarterback position, because we still don't know if our quarterback's going to become the great that we hope he becomes. Hopefully he does. But this isn't a roster that you say, whatever happens this year, you take a look at it and you build upon it. We're going for broke. 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's it. And I'll go a step further with you all. Right now, we got $22 million. Just so you know, by the way, $21.8 million to be exact, but $22 million, right? Next year, we're supposed to go into the season with over $100 million. Just so y'all know. Now, I know y'all probably been hearing a lot of people talk about everything Dolphins lately, but now it's time for y'all to get the real insight about what's going on in our organization and more proof that we're going for it all now. Next year, we were supposed to have $100 million of money. Now, when we signed the free agents this year, it'll probably drop down to like 65, 70, Do y'all know how much money we got next year as of right now? I want you to take a guess in the comment section. How much money does the Miami Dolphins have next year as of this moment right now? Let me see some of y'all answers. 15 million, 25 million, 30 million. Let me help y'all out. We're negative. Now try. We're negative. As of right now, we are negative $4.4 million for next year. As of right now, we are negative $4.4 million for next year. No big deal, and I'm gonna explain why. No huge deal. I'll put it like that, and I will explain why. But those contracts that you just signed, the Tyreek Hill, some of these guys, $6 million this year, $31 million next year, $8 million this year, $32 million next year. That's two guys right there, $60 million taken up just like that. Even Agbar, $11 million this year, $25 next year. You see what I'm saying? Now, there was a comment in the comment section that I want to address. Somebody says Saints prove the cap means nothing. If you understand the cap, then Chance, it means everything. If you don't understand the cap, you will think what the Saints did was, the cap is nothing. The cap is nothing. It's always something. What the Saints did is what the Cowboys have done for the last 6 years. What they're doing is kicking the can down the road until you can't kick it anymore. And the Saints came to the point where this was their very last kick. This was their very last kick. They will deal with some ramifications for the next 2 years at a minimum. The Cowboys have been doing this for 6 years, signing the 5, 6, and 7-year contracts with all the voidable years. But what happened to the Cowboys this offseason? They couldn't keep Amari Cooper. They couldn't keep their linemen, obviously. They couldn't keep a few people on that team they just could not afford. At some point, it's over. No more kicking the can down the road. So this notion that, if they were negative 80 million and now they're under, all they did is took people's contract, Just like Xavier Howard. Just like Xavier Howard's. All they did is took contracts that were under contract, gave them even more guaranteed money, but added back in years to spread out the dead cap to give them relief right now to deal with it later anyway. They still gonna have to deal with it. So all they're doing is kicking the can down the road. So it does mean something. But what you need to understand as a Dolphin fan is that we have just initiated the process of can kicking. Because if we're negative $4 million right now, what do you expect to happen next year? Whether we win a Super Bowl, whether we go to the divisional round, championship round, wild card, don't make the playoffs, whatever it is, don't you expect your team to try to get better next year? But how are they to do that when they're negative $4 million next year already the year before? They're going to have to take some of these big contracts, restructure them again, kick the can down the road. They're going to have to say, Christian Wilkins, we want to re-up your deal now to get the 5th-year option, but we don't know. They're going to have to figure all of that out. This is how it works. We have just got in the kick in the can game because we're going for broke, and I'm with it. Let me be clear. There's nothing wrong with kicking the can as long as you win. The Rams are kicking the can, but they won, so they kicked it even more and brought in the linebacker, Wagner, and they're going to keep kicking it as long as they winning. But eventually, it runs out, just like the Bucs. This is going to be the very last time they can kick the can. Even if they win a Super Bowl and want to run it back, they can't do it next year. The can's been kicked too far. So nothing's wrong with kicking the can. As long as you're winning. As long as you won the Super Bowl. As long as you hoisted that trophy. Because nothing is more valuable than winning it all. I will give up the next 10 years of being trash to win one. Because even if you got a great team, you ain't guaranteed to win the one. So nothing's wrong with kicking the can. Somebody said draft with what picks? What picks we got this year? And I want you to think about that too. This is the tough part about it all. Starting out negative $4 million next year, but that ain't a big deal. They could take one of these guys' contract. They can say, hey, Tyreek, let me give you 2 more years on your deal with a new signing bonus and bring your cap hit from 32 next year down to 10. But you got your signing bonus, but it's going to hurt us. We're going to be in a hole another $20 million down the road. So don't worry about the negative $4 million, just like what the Saints did. The thing with kicking the can, since we just kicked it, you got a good 3 solid years to do it. But understand, anytime you kick the can, you are going into a recession eventually. So Dolphin fans, you have to come to the realization that we will, if we continue down this path, we will be in a recession around 2026, somewhere in that area. 2025, 2026, 2027. Don't know which year, just depend on how they play it. But you will be in a recession. But you gotta go win a Super Bowl before you go into it. That's what you're sacrificing. That's what you're trying to do. That's what it's about. You got to win a Super Bowl because that's the only thing worth going down this path, going through this process. Look at Tampa Bay. Next year, they're already negative $33 million. This year, We can see that Tampa Bay is already negative 33 million next year. The Saints are negative 23 million next year. Season ain't even started. And the Dolphins are third at 4.3 million. You see how every team in the league is already positive next year except 5 teams. Except 5 teams. And the top 3 teams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, proof right there. You see what they did. The New Orleans Saints, proof right there. And the Miami Dolphins. And the Miami Dolphins. And the crazy part about us being in negative, we have less people under contract on average. We'll have less people under contract. And they already project the salary cap to be 230 million, if I'm not mistaken, around that time. We'll see. But we got $22 million right now. Could that be one of the main reasons why we're going into the season with $22 million? Because we know that we're going to have to carry some over because we're just not going to have any money? We're number 4 in the NFL right now with the most money. After all of that spending, we still got the 4th highest amount of money right now. So that tells you we may be looking to carry some of this money over into next season. But here's my issue with that. I don't want us to carry nothing over in the next season. If you're going for broke, go for broke. Spend that $22 million and go get $22 million worth of talent. Go get Tua Tagovailoa a freaking legitimate right tackle to secure his most important side, the blind side. Go get a right tackle to secure the blind side of this man. Give him the best opportunity to thrive, period. No, we playing around for. I know you drafted all these players and, hey, somebody got to work out, but screw that. When you go for broke, you try to eliminate as many we'll sees as possible. You're in a go for broke window. You ain't got time to be experimenting and seeing if something work in a go for broke process. You can't have no questions. It's already one thing that you're putting all this talent, a go for broke team, around a quarterback that you're not even 100% sure about yet. But okay, that is what it is. But at least, leave no shadow of doubt. Protect him perfectly, as perfect as you can. Go get a right tackle. Go get a legitimate right tackle. I don't care if you got to get the best free agent or you got to use one of those draft picks next year. Go get them. Don't want to go through this. I don't want to know nothing to be a reason. Michael said, have you been hearing anything about the Dolphins looking to acquire more players? And if so, who? I haven't. I mean, I've heard some things, but it's not worth me mentioning right now. People who have sources that have sources, and I really don't get into that unless it's my direct person, and I haven't heard anything from that person. Heard a lot from that person about 2023, but not right now. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. We'll see. DDG said, how much should you need to invest in the 5th overall pick? You know what? I understand the question, DDG, but let me give you an alternative answer than the normal that I would. It doesn't even matter at this point how much we should have to invest in a 5th overall pick. The only thing that matters is he's the quarterback, so invest in winning. Screw the quarterback. Invest in winning. Go get the best right tackle you can find. Give him all the time he can have in a pocket. Invest in winning. That's how I feel about this situation right now. It is what it is, man. I'm actually starting to feel a little bit excited about it. Hey, Tua's our guy. Let's roll. Let's get it done. Let's see what we can do. But invest in winning. You just set the contracts up for a 2-year window. Go for broke. I know you've already gone for broke because of the talent we brought in. First of all, let me say this too. Ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to understand this, and I don't say this lightly. I know some people will debate it, but I really don't say this lightly. Over 50 guys on the team, there ain't been that many rosters in the history of the NFL that has more talent than the Miami Dolphins right now. I truly believe it. I truly believe it. There ain't been many rosters in the history of the NFL that has more talent than the Miami Dolphins right now. I truly believe it. I like the idea of Miami adding Melvin Ingram. Solid. I'm serious. I believe it. You look at the defense. You look at the offensive weapons now in the speed. There ain't been many. There ain't. And let me say this. If Tua balls out, Pro Bowl level play, I don't see how this team don't go to the Super Bowl. And I ain't trying to set an unreal expectation for him because I ain't even got – I'm starting to feel like I don't even want any expectations for him this year. I just want the team to win. But if he balls out Pro Bowl level, this can be a Super Bowl caliber team. This team is definitely better than the Bengals were last year. If Tua plays at, that level. We should. This is a rare opportunity. We spend a lot of money and have some, we got players that are top 5 in the NFL at their position right now. We brought in 2 players that are top 5 in the NFL in their position. Some could argue the best at their position. Armstead and Hill. And you unlock Waddle and what he really is. We are just one solid inside linebacker and old lineman away from the Super Bowl contenders. TD hit me with the Smith Waddle. But real talk, man. Real talk. This team is ready to compete with anybody. Now we got to hope the coaching lives up to what we want it to be, and the quarterback play lives up to what we want it to be, and we get good special teams play. It's that simple. It's that simple. I know we want to automatically say this coach is great and he's going to be the difference maker. We've said that about every single coach that has ever come in this building. We'll see. I just hope our quarterback is already learning the playbook and doing well. I hope that our coaches are already sneaking and getting with the guys because they show up tomorrow. Tomorrow, they start working together. Hopefully, we get 100% attendance in the voluntary. But tomorrow, they all come together. I know they've already been putting work in. But we got to get this done. We got a 2-year window. And it ain't going to be easy to add that much more talent after this year. That's what y'all need to come to the realization of. It is not going to be easy to add talent next year nor the year after. Let me prove that to you even more. Who's up for a contract next year? I want y'all to think about that. Who's up for a contract next year? Christian Wilkins. They have to make a decision now on his 5th-year option. Are they going to do the 5th-year option, give him a new deal next year before the 5th year so that they can spread it out better? We don't know, but he got to get his money, right? Right? Mike Gesicki, but you going to tag him again? Price probably going to go up by $1 million or $2 million by then. Or you going to give him a long-term deal? Things you got to think about. Not only that, all these guys you just signed on a 2-year deal, barely none of them got a 2nd year guaranteed. All those 2-year contracts you just signed, none of them got a 2nd year. So they're going to be looking for, hey, are we going to renegotiate the contract? Or you going to have me play it out? Or you going to cut me? What is it going to be? All of those guys too. All of those guys too. And we didn't even talk about our draft picks next year, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we got 2 first-round picks. That's going to cost. We got 1 second-round pick and 2 thirds. Unless they end up trading them, but we don't know. We'll see. And even worse, here's the big kicker, y'all. Y'all ready for this? I just explained the next 2 years to y'all. Here's the worst part about it all. I ain't even talk about year 3 yet. I just told you our go for broke mentality for the next 2 years. Year 3, oh, it is like a confusion of all confusions. Let me explain. First of all these big names that I just named to you, they get even more money in that 3rd year, sucking up all the cap that's supposed to be risen. Because the matter of fact, I'll do you one better. I could go to 2024 on here. I could go to 2024. In 2024, as of right now, the Miami Dolphins will be 26th in cap space, 26th, with about $75 million. But that's as of now, because next offseason, that number is going to change to probably about 20 or something. But year 3, this is where it gets interesting. 3 years from now. Here's why. Are you going to keep Armstead? If you say yes, oh, that's going to hurt. If you say no, take the dead cap, lower all them salaries. But now who you going to bank on as his replacement? A brand new, fresh starter? I'm trying to show y'all why this is a 2-year window too in this process. You going to bring somebody else in that's going to replace Armstead? At that point, 2 years from now, he won't be tradable. So you probably, if anything, will be cutting him. If you keep him, you're just screwed. But if you don't keep him, you'll save some money. But now you got to hope that you found his replacement and be just as good. It's going to be real hard to find a generational talent like Teron Armstead because you only get one of them every 5 to 7 years in the NFL. Let's keep going. Tyreek Hill. After 2 years from now, year 3, you're going to keep him. That hurt the cap. But hey, it is what it is. Or if you do let him go, who are you replacing Tyreek Hill with? Even if you get another good receiver, it ain't Tyreek Hill. Let's go further. Forget the Emmanuel Ogballs. They'll phase out hopefully by the end. We're not worried about it, but we still got to find a replacement. But that's okay, whatever. There's so many guys in year 3, we have to find their replacements. Not only do we have to find their replacements, guess what? Now your young core is looking at you in the face saying, y'all ready to pay me? Tua. If he works out, time for Tua to get that cash. Right? What, they talk about putting Austin Jackson at right tackle? Hopefully it works, right? Because here's the funny part about it. If it does work, now you got to pay Austin Jackson that cash. If it doesn't work, there's a good indication your 2-year window failed because your right tackle failed. Tua's blind side failed. I ain't worrying about Noah. It is what it is. If he make it, he make it. If he don't, he don't. But say he do. I ain't banking on it. But say he do. Got to pay him, but I ain't worried about that. Nah, just leave that alone. Let's let him prove it first, okay? But guys are starting to need their money and getting paid. But then not to mention, in the process of the next 2 years, you got all your, watch this, y'all. You got all your Landon Roberts of the world, your Van Ginkels of the world, your Zeilers of the world, all of these guys, your Nick Needhams once again, not on a tender. You got all of these guys who were actual really intricate parts to your team. Really intricate parts of your team need to get paid or replaced. And you got to hit again. And here's the kicker. Y'all ready? Here's the last one. The last kicker. And I'm talking about 3 years from now. 2 years that went by, we going into year 3, 2025, right? Here's the kicker of it all. Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. Who did you replace them with? And whatever you brought in, did the talent immediately live up to the expectation? You already cap strapped, right? Did the talent live up to the expectation? All I'm saying to y'all, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a 2-year window. Because 3 years from now, the way this team is constructed right now, 40 of the 52 players may not even be here. I'm just keeping it 1,000. You might see a major overhaul 3 years from now. Now, if we win a Super Bowl this year or next year, you can keep some stability, but you're going to see a whole bunch of restructures for less money, or the can getting kicked even further. And I'm fine with that because we win in Super Bowls. So that's what we're dealing with right now. That is the state that the Miami Dolphins are in right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going for it all right now. And if you're a Dolphin fan, you should be excited about it. Now, let's go deeper. If we are going for it now and we want to win it all, this is one of the best talented teams I have ever seen. But is it still ready to win a Super Bowl? And I ain't asking you to be a fan right now. I'm asking that really. Are there holes on this team that you feel like they can sure up that could really make you feel good about winning a Super Bowl? Because right now I've been looking at the posts of the Dolphins community and I'm getting a lot of, well, yeah, we should definitely, be getting the playoffs with this roster and maybe get to the second round. But instead of all of this second round, third round talk, what could make this team a Super Bowl team right now? What would make this team a Super? Because I understand the talk of a second round and all of that. I got to be honest with y'all. The talent we have on this roster is a Super Bowl roster. Let me get that straight now. This is a Super Bowl roster. But Dolphin fans are out here saying, let's just make the playoffs in the first year and, maybe the second round. Why? Why? This is a Super Bowl roster, ladies and gentlemen. What holes do we have that would prevent us from that? Here's my concern. Here's my concern with this roster, ladies and gentlemen. Our best players are all that we got at that position. That's my concern. Let me break it down for you. If X goes out, we're back to playing zone football. The beginning of last year, X and Byron were hampering an injury. That's why they played a lot of zone. The year before that, at the beginning of the season when they were struggling, that's why they played a lot of zone, because Byron had got hurt, remember? Any one of those guys go out, we switch to a zone, our defense gives up points. We're just not going to be great on defense, because our bread and butter is man coverage, sending pressure. But you can't do that if you got second-tier corners on the field. Both of those guys. We are one deep at the corner position on the boundaries. That's just the truth. And the sad thing is, if either one of them go out, it changes our whole defensive game plan. Let's take it a step further. You lose Ogbah, you ain't got no pass rush. You barely have it as it is with him. We have to scheme a pass rush. Let's take it a step further. You lose Teron Armstead, goodbye. I ain't even got to say nothing else. You lose Teron Armstead, goodbye. Let me take it a step further. Whoever you put at the right tackle position that you feel is the best, you lose them, goodbye. Tyreek Hill get hurt, same team as last year, if not worse. At least you could have counted on Parker in the past to play 8 games and at least show up on the 50-50 balls. But now all you got is Waddle and Gesicki like you've always had. No difference. That's the only concern with this team. If we stay healthy, I don't see who can contend with us as long as we get good quarterback play. But if we deal with any injuries, goodbye. This is that theory that I used to tell y'all about, where you could take a 10 out of 10 player or give me 2 8s. If we deal with injury, this is a perfect example of, dang, I wish I had the 2 8s. You see what I'm saying? So, and there we go. This is the first time I saw this comment tonight. Somebody said, TD, why are you so negative with what we got? I'm not being negative with what we got. Did you not hear me say this is the best roster I think I may have seen in NFL history, one of the best? You acting like every team is deep at every position. If a lot of teams lost a starting player, they screwed. That's not true. It's just not true. Do you see how the Eagles built that team whenever they won the Super Bowl? They backups were starters on other teams. And some teams can absorb an injury because they have a solid or a really good backup. And you're right, every team doesn't, but some teams actually have some good backups. And here's another thing. Let me take it a step further. I just named to you about 8 different positions. So I agree with you. Every team has, don't have a lot of depth at every position, but I just named to you 8 different positions. Some teams may only have 3 or 4. That's the point that I'm making too. Yeah, every team may have a little holes like that here and there, but we got 8 of them. Both corners, receiver, right tackle, left tackle. Hell, not to mention, it might even want to argue quarterback, but they 2 in the same, so it's okay. Defensive end. And at the end of the day, I'm not being negative. I haven't said anything negative tonight. I'm just speaking the truth. And I ain't even trying to sound negative. I love what we're doing. I'm just giving you a reality of why we're doing what we're doing. And we need to go for broke. That's why I'm telling you now, we got $22 million. Go get a freaking right tackle. Don't play around. Don't wait till after this year. Yeah, we learned that we need to get better at the right tackle position. A whole year of all of that gone? A whole year of all of this talent to waste because you just figuring out we need a right tackle? You kidding me? We got 2 years to do it, and you spent a whole year just to figure out you need a right tackle? Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I hear experimenting. Go get the right tackle, and you can still experiment. Get that right tackle and let them compete with them scrubs that we got right now, because they are scrubs until they ball out. That's how I see it. And then one of them ball out, hey, we got a good backup for all I care. It ain't hurting you. You got $22 million. Spend it. Spend it. Make this a Super Bowl team now. You got Super Bowl talent, but leave no stone unturned. I know people can argue that with the quarterback position as well, but it is what it is. I don't want to argue that anymore. It is what it is. If we're going to ride with Tua, then make sure you give this kid everything possible he can have. Shower him with gifts. I don't want to hear no he has no excuse. I want to hear it's impossible for him to fail. That's what I want to hear. That's the team I want you to build around him, where people are saying it is impossible for him to fail. We got right tackle Liam and Jackson. They will be coached. Coach away. Go get me a freaking legitimate proven right tackle while you're coaching. People act like just because you get coached up that's ultimately going to be the deciding factor. Sometimes you either have it or you don't, ladies and gentlemen. Let me be clear to you. They could bring TD in the building right now at right tackle. I don't care how much coaching up they give me. Tua getting hurt this year. I don't care how much they coach me up. He's going to get hurt because somebody is going to abuse me on that field. Just give me a few practice checks, though, because they're going to cut me eventually, but give me some practice checks. Gosh, y'all act like everything is coaching. Sometimes you just ain't as talented as your opponent. Like, does anybody think about that? Before we got Armstead and Tyreek Hill, I was heated because at the end of the day, this roster was trash to me. Because at the end of the day, I compared it to other teams' rosters, and people had the nerve to come out attacking me. Why are you worrying about other people's roster? Just focus on ours. Shut up, dum-dum. Because that's who you're playing against. I don't know nobody in the world of competition that don't scout their opponent. That don't consider their opponent. It's the dumbest thing ever to me. It's like being a middle school kid boxing, like you going up against Tyson this week. Don't worry about that it's Tyson. We just got to focus on your craft and we can win. Shut up. Foolishness. Just foolishness. Foolishness. The talent on the other team matters. You got to see how you stack up to other teams, man. How do you stack up to other teams? Sometimes they just got better talent. Because if that was the case, then we didn't need Tyreek Hill or Armstead. If y'all truly believe in coaching them up, then you don't need none of them. Be honest with yourself. Hey, man, I want to win a freaking Super Bowl, man. Some of y'all be arguing like you don't want to win a Super Bowl, like you want to make every excuse for why we might be bad. I want to win a Super Bowl. I want this team, I don't care how they do it, to win a Super Bowl. So I'm going to always criticize what we're doing and wonder, could we have done something better? And if you're a real Dolphin fan, you can only hope that your general manager, owner, and coaches feel the same way. Can we have done something better? It's that simple. Which would you rather? Christian Kirk or Tyreek Hill? Let me ask you that. Which would you rather, Christian Kirk or Tyreek Hill? And I know every single one of y'all will say Tyreek Hill. But had we got Christian Kirk, and I sat here and said, man, they should have just went and traded for Tyreek Hill. Oh, you being negative, bro. Hey, man. You just being negative. No. If there was an opportunity, I feel like that would have been the guy that fit this team best. Why you gotta find bad in everything we do? Just be quiet, man. Crying. You ain't tired of losing? Go get me a freaking right tackle, Miami. You know the sad part about it is, I do get it though. We done spent all of these resources with these draft picks and all these guys sitting there scratching their head right now. Like, what about me? You gotta figure out who can work into what because you already invested in them. Shame on us for getting it wrong. Yeah, we got a lot of them wrong. And I'm not saying they won't end up being good, but we got them wrong just simply off of the standpoint of look at the players we missed on instead of them. Look at all the players we passed up and picked them instead. Some of those other guys, we would have already had our answer. TD, stop the nonsense. We're going undefeated. Listen, if Tua plays at a Pro Bowl level with this roster and we don't have injuries, why not? I agree with you. I feel like we can go undefeated. We could sign Brady, and I bet TD would find faults in that. Why would I find faults in that? We're in a 2-year window. He'd be perfect for that. Even if it's next year, 1 year, he'd be perfect for it. And let me tell y'all something. If Brady did end up in Miami for whatever reason, it's only because of one reason. With all of this talent, Brady would want to come to Miami for one reason and one reason alone. And that one reason will make him the football GOAT for the next 100 years. It's the one thing that he hasn't achieved, that if he achieves, it would put him in football immortality, and he already in that. But I'm saying for the next 100 years, nobody will touch him. Brady wants the undefeated season and winning a Super Bowl in it. Remember the year he went undefeated and he lost the Super Bowl? He literally said he would trade in 3 of his Super Bowls to have that one. He would trade in 3 of his Super Bowls to have that one. And winning the Super Bowl with 3 teams, yeah, that's glorious too, but nothing will be more glorious than going undefeated and winning the Super Bowl just like the 72 Dolphins. And then you come to them and do it too. And you have that on your resume. 100 years, nobody can touch them. 100 years, nobody can touch him. You'd have to put up Jordan numbers. You'd have to go 6 for 6 in the Super Bowl and probably do it in a 10-year span to even be considered in his close. And that will never happen in the NFL in today's game. Because let me tell y'all something too. The reason why it's going to get harder to win a Super Bowl, because going forward, I want y'all to hear me very clear, and y'all mark my words. Watch, y'all going to be saying, TD, you used to say this, and you're right. It's happening every year. From this point going forward, y'all ain't noticed something happened to the NFL that they ushered in a new era. The new era, it ain't the quarterback era, it ain't the running back era, it ain't this and that. I mean, it's always going to be like the quarterback thing and all that, but it's a new era. And this era will probably stick around for 50 years. And some of y'all ain't notice it. It's called going for broke. Every year from this point on, you will have 5 to 8 teams every year going for broke. And those 5 to 8 teams will have a 90% chance that one of those teams wins the Super Bowl. Every time. I guess I can't say 90% and then every time, but y'all get my point. This is a new era of football, and you're about to see it. You are about to see it. 5 to 8 teams every year will go for broke, and one of those teams, 90% of the time, will win the Super Bowl. Watch. And the other 10% will probably just be a team that has a quarterback on a rookie contract that's loaded around him. The go for broke team will win 90% of the time, and the other team that got a chance are those rookie contract teams. They quarterback ain't making much, and it's the most talent they'll ever have around them. Most talent they'll ever have around them. That's the new NFL. You can't just methodically, slowly build your team and say compete every year. Yeah, you can make the playoffs every year, but first and second round exits. Every year it'll be the team that goes for broke. And believe it or not, you may have not have noticed, it started with Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, and then the Eagles, so forth and so on. They load up. They negative in their salary cap, but they finagle all the deals to hurt them down the road. Y'all know the teams that go for broke. Who are the teams that's going to be going for broke this year? You may have not noticed it, even though it's a rookie contract quarterback, but the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, we're in there now. Y'all may not believe it, but we're in there now. That period, that go for broke. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, once again. The Cleveland Browns are about to. Who else? The Bengals and the Chargers. But remember, all the quarterbacks on rookie deals qualify for at least that 10%. But some of them are wisening up now. They're not just qualifying their rookie deal contract to put everything around them. They even going overboard. They doing the extended. See, when you got a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract, you don't need to do deals that kicks money down the road for players. Because the money you're saving at the quarterback position, $35-40 million, that's the money you use to keep their contracts even. But teams saying, screw that crap. I'm going to even push their money down the road because I'm going to have even more great talent. Do y'all not understand? I want you to go look at the Chargers. Go look at the Chargers. Go look at their starting 5 offensive linemen. If you go look at PFF, all in the green. Go look at ours right now, 2 to 3, whatever. Go look at their running backs. Go look at almost every receiver they got. Go look at their secondary now. Go look at their linebackers. Ooh, go look at their D-line. See what they brought in? This is why I say, don't just look, Tyreek Hill and Armstead and think that we just the best. Go look at the Chargers roster. Go look at the Chargers roster. They said, screw taking advantage of the rookie contract. We're going to take advantage of the rookie contract and push money down the road just to have almost every position a player that we feel great about. And our backups are still going to be solid. So they even taking it a step further. They taking advantage of the rookie contract for the quarterback and pushing money down the road. They do. That's probably really the new era. New quarterback, and if he good, oh my gosh, go all in and bloat up contracts and kick the money down the road. Like we can easily have more talent than anybody else in the NFL. Go look at what the Bengals did. 5 O-linemen, legit. 5 O-linemen right now they know are A1. Legit. No holes on the O-line. We sitting here talking about, well, we got to figure out who, we think Jesse Davis is going to be okay. No, I keep saying Jesse Davis. Lord, save me from that. Dieter's going to be okay. And our right tackle, we got to see which one going to win the position. Not them teams. No question. No question. They got tight ends. The quarterback already superior. We already know that. The running game already been nice. And now they invested in a defense. And the defense was already solid, but they even got better. All we do is look at get in our room and be like, look at the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill and Armstead, Tyreek Hill and Armstead, Tyreek Hill and Armstead. Let's keep things 100, man. We got work to do. It ain't going to be no cakewalk. We got a great roster. This is a Super Bowl winning roster, but God dog it, some other teams got it too. Some other teams right now got Super Bowl rosters. Matter of fact, I'll go out on a limb to tell y'all, in the NFL, I've never seen a year with so many Super Bowl worthy rosters. We ain't even talk about Denver, who was already loaded and ready at almost every position, and now they got Russell Wilson. The Browns. That's the team that is just shocking to me. That is the team that had them and the coach are the two teams that built up Super Bowl ready rosters, just didn't have a quarterback. One of them got one now. I still don't believe in the Colts. I can't agree that we got a Super Bowl team. Well, Dylan, if you can't agree we got a Super Bowl team, and I'm not going to fight you on that, but I'm going to ask you this. God dog it, what else do we need? Because if this ain't a Super Bowl team, how much better can we get? And now, don't get me wrong, I'm like, go get us a right tackle, but if y'all ain't confident about winning a Super Bowl right now with this team, then how can we? That's what you got to think about. How can we? This is why I was so conflicted with the Tua situation for so long. Because I don't care how well you build this team. There's another team out there built just as well. And it's going to come down to who got the better quarterback. This is all I've been telling people for the longest. That's why I'm not even going to be arguing about the quarterback situation anymore. I'm just going to sit back and let it play out and hope Tua becomes the best version of himself so we can win it all. But the way, if you really sensibly want to look at it, we've built such a great roster, but have our opponents not? And at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who has the advantage. So when you look at the Chargers defense, we don't know if we have the advantage. We can sit here and think we do, but we don't know. Their pass rush will organically be better than ours. Our secondary may be slightly better than theirs, but they're still nice in their secondary. And J.C. Jackson. So when the rubber meets, and they linebacking core better, period. There ain't no way around that. I'm tell you like that. It's better. Period. Ain't no debate. So when the rubber meets the road, it's like, for me, what advantage do we have over them? Oh, well, we got speed. Guys, y'all really, really, really think that 0.1 or 0.2 makes all that much of a difference in a game where everybody's trying to get the ball out of their hand quick anyway? With teams like this, there are a lot of fast teams. Now, we will be the fastest, but there's still a lot of fast teams. Offense don't play offense. Other offenses are still going to be blazing fast against our defense. But where would you have the advantage? We know that those teams have quarterbacks that's just better than ours right now. It's such an important position. So we're going to have to scheme this thing up and be a powerhouse run team, and we got to take advantage of Tua's playmaking ability whenever he has the opportunity to. And we got to have good balance, good coaching, and just try not to make the mistakes. Do we have the best team in the NFL right now? Who dare answer it? You know what I mean? Who dare to answer it? We don't know. TD, your last live stream with Larry K, I heard the word hope at least 30 times. LOL. Like you said, we went from hope over guarantee. Yeah, we took the hope road. It is what it is, though, but now we're on it. We can't hop off this road now because the guarantees are gone. Now we got to hope, and we got to live in it. It is what it is. We can't just sit in place and be like, I don't want to do this hope. You ain't got no choice now. So now we hope that whoever they put at right tackle ends up playing well. We hope that Dieter holds up at center. Okay. We hope that Armstead stays healthy. All right. We hope that Byron and X stay healthy. We hope that our coaches become better than the coaches we've had in the past. We hope Tua Tagovailoa take his game to a whole new level. Hope, 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 hope. Let's keep hope alive. Until it's dead, let's keep it alive. It is what it is. And I know I ain't mentioning Chase Edmonds and all of them. That's the run game. I just feel like the run game is inconsequential at the end of the day. The speed is going to help. But I personally feel like if we scheme it the right way and we go behind Armstead, anybody will be able to run behind him. Now, what you do after you get your few yards, the playmakers make the difference. Playmakers make the difference. So hopefully those guys make a difference. A lot of hope, but it ain't dead yet. We can't eliminate it. It's there. Now, I know we've been going for a while. I got to get on this Devante Parker trade. We save some money. Matter of fact, let me pull it up because I want to pull it up real quick because I want to see how many years he had left to help me understand the dead cap implications for the Miami Dolphins. Give me a second. Why can't we just play in the NFC? Shaking my head. I mean, as soon as we go over there, it's going to get tough. It is what it is. Why can't we just be good? That's how I look at it. Let's just be better. All right, let me pull this up. All right, so Devante Parker. I know initially we save about $3 million if we did move him, but let's see what the new implications are. All right, the Patriots, they got a cap hit. He ain't got no guaranteed money with the Patriots. So lucky them. They got a player for 2 years that ain't got no dead cap. So basically the Patriots got him 2 years, $6 million. Really, it's 2 years, $12 million. That's really what it is, $6 million a piece. Excuse me. I got to tell y'all now, this is a huge win for the Patriots, okay? Now, the Dolphins, on the other hand, we got a $5.4 million dead cap hit this year. It doesn't look like we'll be able to spread that out. So he's just a straight up $5.4 million dead cap hit. So we basically saved about $3.2 or $3.3 million just to trade him. Now, I honestly would have liked Miami to keep him in the event that a player did get hurt, because this was an opportunity to basically, you save $3.5 million. I think that $3.5 million would have been worth keeping him, because if Tyreek goes down, you still got a 50-50 weapon. If Waddle goes down, you still got a guy. I know everybody's relying on them, the guy from the Cowboys and all this and that. I have zero faith in guys like that until they prove it. Okay. We've lived in Miami with a whole bunch of receivers that put up that type of production as a third or fourth string. Then when they get in the spotlight as one of the premier guys, not so much. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see. But I would have liked to keep Parker. But hey, we got rid of him and we saved 3 million, 3.5, whatever. Good, right? Trading him to New England was tricky, but it is what it is because he don't know nothing about what this new offense is going to be doing. So that's a good look. He can give a little insight on the defense, but can he really? It's kind of still what they ran in New England, what Flores did, you know? There ain't no insight really to be gained here outside of knowing Tua. Now that is where it can come back to bite us. If anybody knows all Tua's strengths and weaknesses, it's Devante Parker. One of the more veteran guys on the offense out of the entire, matter of fact, probably the most veteran guy on offense. Let me go down the roster. Offense. Devante Parker is the most veteran guy on offense, so he's seen it all. He knows all the strengths and weaknesses. He knew from day one what Tua's good at and what he struggled at. And that can be valuable information for the New England Patriots. Just call it what it is because Tua does have flaws. And Devante Parker, out of all people, knows how to attack those flaws because they had the game plan to hide them. They had to game plan to hide them. Parker know all too well. You know, he got relegated into running slants and 50-50 balls because of some of those limitations. So that could be valuable. I want to see how we play against New England now. Flores out, Parker over there with Godchild. And I want to see how this year goes with that matchup. And I just hope Parker don't have a resurgence and have a Pro Bowl type season. Because if he does, that is going to be so indicative, man. I'm telling you, if Mac Jones gets the most out of Devante Parker, what we always hope for, that just ain't going to be good. Just keeping it 1,000, y'all. We'll see. It is what it is. All right. But let me say this. This is the part that I do like. Miami could have got a 4th rounder easily for Devante Parker in the discussion this year. We could have had a 4th round pick this year. But I like what Chris Grier did because future picks are worth a little less as of right now. That's how some people look at it. Some people. He said, I'll send you a 5th and I want you to upgrade that to a 3rd for the following year. Grier still saying screw them picks. Grier got rid of yet another pick this year, sent off one of the 5th round picks. They are really like, screw them picks. We don't want no picks this year. So Grier's still in the process of sending picks off. Sent off the 5th and picked up a 3rd next year. Now, I feel like we got 3 first rounders next year. Let me tell you why. We got 2 firsts. We got a 2nd and we got 2 3rds. You compare that 2nd with those 2 3rds and get to the 1st, depending on how high that 2nd is. So that's what I feel like the value we have is almost like having 3 firsts. Just in case you need to use every penny of it. We don't know how this season is going to end with Tua. If Miami feels like they need to use those 2 firsts, that 2nd, and those 2 3rds to move up to grab a quarterback, they will. They will, because it's a much better quarterback class from my understanding. Oh, which I dread because I don't want to go back to the draft for a quarterback again. I just hate it. Tua, just work out. Be that dude. End all the conversation. End all the debates. End all the arguments. But it's on him. But I love that we picked up a 3rd round pick and sent off a 5th for next year. Not for next year. Some beautiful work by Chris Grier in this regards. Again, I would have liked to keep Parker, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So that's my take on that situation. Outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, we're in let me sum it all up. We're in a win now mode. Okay. We got a window that we got to take advantage of. No matter who wants to admit it or not, I think everybody in their common sense of it all, this is just the season of Tua Tagovailoa. It's that simple. I know people are like, no, they stop trying to make it about him. This is the freaking season of Tua Tagovailoa. It's that simple. At the end of the day, this year, we want to know if we have officially found our franchise quarterback or not. And if there is any question after this season, I don't care if it's a question of, well, I saw improvement, he got better, but it's still a work in progress. It's the first year in the new system. Nope, that's it. He's going to have to leave this season without a shadow of a doubt. I am the future. It's just the reality of it all. It's the reality of it all. And if he doesn't work out this year, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what will happen. I believe the Miami Dolphins will do one of two things. Option one, they'll trade for Lamar Jackson next year. Option two, they'll move up in the draft and draft a young quarterback who they believe in, and they'll bring in Brady as a free agent next year on this winning team and let that young guy sit behind Brady in what we hope is a Super Bowl run as our young guy is sitting down developing. That's all I got for you. Those are the only two options that this team has anyway. That's it. And let me stop lying. There is an option three. Take all your draft capital and upgrade the quarterback position with a guy like Kirk Cousins or something like that. A guy who still got some years left in him that can play at a high level. That's it. That's it. But what you're not going to do is go back into what you're not going to do if Tua don't work out this year is go in the draft, get a guy and say, let him lead this Super Bowl roster in his first year. So what you're not going to do. And if you do, once again, here we go with the crap. TD, stop lying. Lamar said he wants to stay in Baltimore. Yeah, okay. We'll see next year. Lamar knows he's going to end up playing in Baltimore this year. Therefore, it ain't no need to have chaos around him. He can go ahead and get his new deal done now. There's a reason why he isn't. It's the stupidest thing of all time to sit here and say, no, I'm just going to wait to the end of the year. Because if you go tear an ACL, if you go hurt yourself like you did last year and missed all them games, you go out there this year and hurt yourself again and see what kind of bargaining power you got. They might actually be happy to move on from you. It would be the dumbest thing ever. So trust me when I tell you, I know what Lamar doing. Lamar wants to become a free agent and let teams do what Watson did. Let somebody overpay and offer fully guaranteed money. And it might be yours truly, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins. Carla said Lamar is not an answer at QB. Lamar is not a true QB. You know what, Carla? If you know anything about this channel, you know my take on Lamar. I don't like Lamar. I don't like him as a quarterback, a true quarterback. But he is the only guy in the NFL with his skill set that would go out of the window. Let me tell you why. Because it'll be a track meet. This will be something the NFL never saw. You don't know what's coming. Quarterback keeper, jet sweep, halfback draw, quick slant, bubble screen. You talk about You take Deebo Samuels and Lamar alone, and that's scary. And you want to say Lamar, Waddle, Tyreek, all of these guys, man, ain't nobody beat, man. Ain't nobody beat. You talk, man, we going to go straight into the wishbone. Spread option. Man, ain't nobody going to know what to do. Ain't nobody going to know what to do, man. You got every position on the offense that's used in that type of offense superior. The best of the best. It'd be sickening, man. Not to mention all these, I'll leave it alone. All these rumors about Deebo coming here too, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'm telling you, that would be the craziest thing ever. It'll be a whole different, it'll be totally different. You see how last year we demolished Lamar Jackson? Then they'll try to throw a bubble screen, but them guys ain't got that Tyreek type of agility and speed, the Waddle type stuff, the Deebo type stuff. Man, ain't no way nobody gonna be able to man-to-man and run that type of coverage against us. In that type of scheme, it would be something unreal, Carla. Unreal. A mobile, athletic quarterback. Man, if Tua was mobile and athletic, oh my gosh. If he was like a superior run threat, oh my gosh. Man, we putting up 40 a game. Easy. Easy. And with this defense, man, we're going to break all kind of historic records. We're going to break all kind of historic records. You already see this team we got this year. You got to worry about where it's going. Oh, it's going to be a lot of zone. We already know that team's going to have to play a lot of zone against us just to keep it in front of them and, wait on you to make a mistake and tackle you right away. They're going to play a lot of zone. But you have this kind of speed with a guy like that. Ain't no, man, listen. It's over. It's over. It's over. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You could even take a guy like Josh Allen without the speed in a system like this, just because he could just move forward and get 9 yards like that. It's over. It's over. You have a dual core, and then don't let the quarterback actually be able to throw like the Watson type. Oh my God! Listen, ain't nobody, man. This will be historic. It'll be historic. You see Mahomes, and I'm telling you, Mahomes ain't the Lamar Jackson runner. Mahomes ain't even a Josh Allen type runner. He's just a guy who improvises and can extend the play. He ain't really a threat out there running. He'll go get it. But Mahomes ain't even that guy like that. Like Lamar. Josh Allen, a slow version of Lamar. Watson has the combination of both. Man, you get them guys with these weapons. Bro, I'm crying every week. We finna kick the ball out. We finna win another game. I can't believe we finna go undefeated and win a Super Bowl, especially with this defense and it's all. I'm crying every week just because. Just because. Y'all got to understand, when I think about it, there's only y'all help me out in the comment section. I could be wrong. There's only 3 guys in the league. There's only 3 guys in the league. Only 3 in the league that has the package skill set. Lamar Jackson is the superior runner, and he could throw. He's actually gotten better. I'll give him that. I still don't like him, but he's gotten better. Deshaun Watson just got the full package. I don't care. I ain't gonna debate that with nobody. He got it with all them got and more, and is refined and sharpened. So that's done. He got the Mahomes extension. He got the Lamar speed and moves in the open field He got the Josh Allen willing to take the hit with his body and push forward. He got the whole package. But that's it. And Josh Allen just has the power and the ability to run the ball. But just them three, that's it. No, not no Murray. Murray is just fast with speed. But Murray ain't the complete guy. That's the problem. They fall short with him. He still ain't a complete quarterback. He falls short throwing that ball sometimes. It's not consistent, y'all. It really isn't. He has the wheels and he has the speed, but the problem is he's so small in his size, he got to take more steps to get as far as others. It makes a difference. And on top of it, he's not going to be able to absorb the hits that those other three guys can absorb because of their size. Trey Lance, I'm not even going to say that yet because I got to see him in the NFL. I get what you're saying, but until you played in the NFL, listen to me, y'all. It's only three guys in this league right now. Only three. And if their team was any sort of smart, they would build a team like this. They would build a team to do what we're doing now. You add that kind of quarterback to what we're doing, 40 a game, easy. 40 a game. $40 a game. So at TD, what I'm hearing from you is that Tua is not that guy, just not that guy. With all the upgrades for Tua in the offense, Tua still will let us down. I didn't say he'll let us down. When you say he's not that guy, he ain't that guy. He ain't Josh. He ain't Lamar in athletically, and he's not Watson, period. But I didn't mean he's going to let us down. He's just a guy that's going to be in the pocket playing his game. And if he could do that officially and do his job and not turn the ball over, we can win games. He don't have to let us down. It doesn't, just because he's not that dude doesn't mean he's going to let us down. That's not what I'm saying. I only brought those dudes up to let you know they going to always let you up. If you talk about somebody letting you down, they will always pick you up. Always. What about Herbert? Nah, he ain't got the wheels, man. He uses it here and there, but y'all know what I mean. I'm talking about a guy who ain't just big and bulky running, but you can put that move and all. You know, I'll give Herbert a little bit, but he don't do it enough like Josh Allen. And to be honest with you, Josh Allen shouldn't even fit the category, but they run him so much, he gets in because of the impact his running has on the game. Buffalo Bills' success is only because of Josh Allen's running ability. You got to look at a game from the Buffalo Bills. Any game they struggle, they keeping that behind in the pocket. He ain't running that ball. And if he does, they all over it. Any games they struggle. The games where they balling out, Josh Allen eating, is opening up everything else. And when I say he eating, he running the ball. Look at what he did in the freaking championship game that they lost. The man was just design play. Hike, run to the right, 9 yards. Hike, run, they hit me, but I fell forward 6 yards. They let the man take abuse. That's why he don't really need to be in the category, but he is because he run that much and he impacts the game. But I rather a Watson or Lamar because in those same runs, he going and even if you hit him, it's going to be at a point where it don't hurt as much. It's not as hard because he already got you skating. Or he dodged you altogether with the stick the hand out for extra yards and get out of bounds to avoid they got the speed and agility to avoid the contact and still pick it all up. And they got the ability to take it all the way down the field if necessary. So really and truthfully, there's only two guys, and that's Lamar and Watson, but we know who the superior passer is. And you know the one thing that we don't talk about this enough at the quarterback position. I know we all be arguing about quarterbacks and how good they are, how far they can throw and, overthrows, underthrows, and all that stuff. But you know what? You know, the one thing that we don't argue about that we should be talking about that makes all the difference in the world? The brain. I was talking to Em about this earlier. We sit here and we do all this fighting and stuff over how good somebody can be and how accurate and how this and that. Why does any of that matter if they ain't performing up here? Do y'all notice? Go look through the NFL. Outside of your veterans like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and all those guys, who's really at the line of scrimmage controlling that bad boy? A maestro. Who's really at the line of scrimmage, literally just looking at a defense and saying, oh, I'm finna murder them, and just calling their own play? The coach ain't got nothing to do with it no more. You done called in the play. I done gave him the play and the backup play. But then whenever I came out and I looked at the defense, none of them gonna work. Nah, but I know what to give them. Blah, 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 blah. Talk to the running back. Tell the line what protections we gonna need. Where are those guys at? I see Joe Burrow doing it sometimes. Not a lot now. I ain't gonna sit here and then cap for him. Not a lot, but he's doing it. And that's a good sign of how long he's been in the league. I don't see Herbert doing it much. Not much at all, honestly. So I don't know how that's gonna go. But I see Burrow doing it. Watson does it. He's superior at it. We already know the veterans like Russell, Brady, Aaron does it. You know, but outside of that, it ain't many. And that's the problem I had. Not even Patrick Mahomes. He ain't even doing it. And I'm not talking about being at the line and doing the little small stuff to the receivers. Basically just telling them, we're going to run. I'm not going to throw y'all the slant. Or I'm not going to hand it off. I'm going to hit one of y'all on a quick slant. Be ready. I'm not talking about that little small petty stuff. I ain't talking about the little kill. Switching the run from the right to the left. Not the basics. I'm talking about straight up, God dog. Everything we got is short right now, and they got 9 up here in the first 10 yards. You know what? Let's take a shot. Telling the line what they're going to do, telling them what type of protection they need through all the signaling that you learned in camp. You're letting your receivers know what you're looking for from them, giving them the signals, telling your back what you want. Matter of fact, taking a good look at the defense again now. Matter of fact, screw the back. Come next to me. I want you to identify this. I'm talking about orchestrating the freaking offense because you need to create a play out here, and you can do that based off of what they're in. I'm talking about the football that when you used to watch Ray Lewis versus Peyton Manning will see the Ravens what they in. Peyton will switch it all up. Ray Lewis switching it up. Now the defense done change. Peyton like, oh, well, let's like, and then you get a timeout because both of them done switched to play twice. Like they playing chess on the field. The real part of the game. Not these people that got to play and I'm going to call it even though it don't look like it's going to work. We know all about that. You basically describing Peyton Manning and Dan Marino. It ain't just them, man. I'm seeing Joe Burrow do a little of it. Watson has always done it, just so you know. Russell does it. Aaron can do it on occasion. I mean, he can do it, but you know they don't do it much. But you know when they do it, you see them doing it. You know who else does it and does it real well? Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill audible the heck out of a play and set something up on the field. He actually does. He's one of the guys who can. But he's never had a problem knowing his playbook or changing stuff up. He's never had a problem with signal calling. That's the one thing he's never had an issue with. Trying to figure out anybody else, man. I saw Mac Jones do a little bit of it. Not much, but he did a little. See guys like Kyler, none. You see what I mean? Stafford does it. Derek Carr, see, guys like him, he's really good at quarterback, but he don't really do it. He'll call stuff off and stuff, but Carr don't really do it much. And that's the difference. Dak don't do that. Y'all get out of here with that crap. Talk about Prescott. No. All he know is kill. 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 He barely do it. Get off the Tannehill train, TD. I've been off that train, but he does it. That's something you can't deny, whether you love him or hate him. Tannehill does it. But the reason why I'm even bringing that up is because we sit here and we argue about, oh, well, he's accurate, or he does this well, or he's bad at that, or he's not good at that. We argue we argue that type of stuff, but we don't talk about the intellects who make the game easier for him, who make the game seem so easy. This is what kills me. Like when I watch Tom Brady, people be like, look at all that time Tom Brady has. But nobody talks about what he did right before the snap. Nobody talks about this kind of stuff. I'll watch Tom Brady in a game. He'll send a guy in motion and notice they're in the zone, so he know that the front is going to come straight up 4, and he ain't got to call extra protection. He may tell a tight end to stay in, double the edges, and 3-on-2 in the interior. I got all day. He ain't got to worry about that. You see, he'll do something as simple as that. He'll go to the line of scrimmage. He'll send a guy in motion. They're in zone. The simple football mind says they're in zone. Okay, this isn't man-to-man, so my receivers, sit down in the zone and I'm going to find you. That's the simple football mind. But the complex football mind is saying, all right, they're in zone. I know how to beat the zone. Maybe I even audible into a play that's even better. But since they're in a zone and all 3 linebackers are on the next level, they're not sending a blitz likely. And I got 4 rushers and 5 linemen. I'm going to tell my tight end to stay in so I can have extra time because this is zone. As long as I get time, I can kill them. This is zone. I can get some of that deep mid-route stuff as long as I get time. So let me tell my tight end, I don't need you to flare out in the flat no more for the quick pass because they're not in man, so I ain't got the threat of them sitting extra pressure. So therefore, I want you to stay right here. I want you to, and that's all. He ain't talking to nobody else. He just tells the tight end over the line. He give them whatever signal they learn, and the tight end stays in. So now I got 6-on-4, double the edges, 3 versus 2 in the interior. And you wonder why he has all day. And all he had to do to get all day is do one little signal to the tight end that none of y'all probably even noticed on TV. He probably went up to the line, pointed to the mic, 45, Mike, 45. Slight. He could say something like boo-boo. 45, Mike, boo-boo. And the tight end, he said boo-boo. He called me. So I'm going to stay in and block on boo-boo. Something as simple as that. Those are the little intricate things that's happening on the field, and they hike the ball, and you wonder why he's sitting back there chilling. Because both edges are double teamed, and you got 3-on-2 in the interior, which is harder to get through. And we sit there like, look at all the time he has. If our quarterback only had that time. You mean if your quarterback knew how to create that time? If he knew how to create that time. Something as simple as that. Now he got 4 seconds to take advantage of that post route for 22 yards. That deep in route for 17 yards. Or stretch the defense enough to where he take a shot at the safety come downhill. Whatever it may be. It's the point. This is the part of the game where if you know the game, you know your playbook, you know all your checks, you know all your alerts, you know all your protections, you know your 1 protection, your 2 protection, your 3 protection, all your gap assignments. You know what the defense is likely to do because you're at home all day watching your opponent during that week. On Monday morning, if you play the Jets this week, Monday morning, I'm watching all the defensive sets for the Jets, what they like to do. All right, I go to practice. I come home that evening while I'm eating dinner. I'm watching all 8 sets, what they like to do. A real student of the game. You know everything they like to do, everything they like to run. I'm with you, TD. Tua has to create time, but we were 32nd in O-line. Come on, TD. See, that's your problem, Vince A. If Brady was on this team with that O-line, I can guarantee you they wouldn't have been 32nd, bro. I'm not trying to say they would have been top 10, but they wouldn't have been 32nd. He knows how to create more protection. He knows on a play, based off of the defense, what's going to be there. Like, let me give you an example. If you got man coverage on the outside with no safety, or say you got single high safeties with 2 receivers on the boundary and both of them running a go route, right? And you know on this play you're going to take a shot. But you got a tight end slipping out underneath. You got the running back running out of the backfield, and you got another slot receiver on the slant. If you already know that you're about to take a shot because they're giving you a single high look, communicate to everybody. Tell your receiver, come on in on the line. Pick up this person. Tell your running back, stay home. Help block. Tell the tight end slipping out, stay home. Change the 5-man route to a 2-man route. 2 goals. Hike the ball. Single high safety. Which side does the safety pick? Right? I'm going left. But we don't do that. We sit there and we freaking run everybody on a route. And then you wonder, we got one-on-ones on the line, and we ain't got the personnel for the one-on-ones. But had you brought people in and kept people blocking because you saw pre-snap, you ain't going to need them routes. You wouldn't get a sack. Guess what? You ain't 32nd. You 31st. And you do that all game. It makes all the difference. I mean, this is just common sense, man. Straight common sense. Easy stuff. Y'all don't know that you can help your line before the play even starts. But the problem is the elite quarterbacks up here, they already know what their first read. You know how y'all say, we say, oh, there's progressions. When you hike the ball, this is your first guy. That's your second guy. No. That's basic quarterback one-on-one. But advanced quarterback, you don't know who your first read is until you see what defense they in. Because depending on what defense they in, you might say, I don't need to look at my first read because it ain't going to be there. Based off of the defense that they're in, I don't need to look at my first read because it ain't going to be there. You can sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes you can see that pre-snap. It's not going to be there. And that's the point I'm making. If your first read is a tight end just going right down the line of scrimmage for a quick pass, but they load the line of scrimmage and you send a guy in motion and you notice they're a man and it's a man right in front of him, that little slip screen ain't going to be open because the guy right in front of him is going to follow him out there. He's not coming on the blitz. You're asking too much from Tua. I'm not asking any of this from Tua. I'm just saying that's the difference. That's the difference that people don't understand. You can make your O-line look better. And that's why people will come play for you at a discount. That's why players will play for you at a discount because you make them look better. You make them look better. Y'all act like it ain't no such thing as a quarterback making an O-line look better. Did you see how horrible the Bengals were in that game with the 10 sacks? Even though they were pure boo-boo trash, they won that game and nobody really talked about the O-line because they won the game. And shockingly, in the Super Bowl, that same O-line actually played well for 3.5 quarters, more than you would have expected, against a superior pass rush. Aaron Darnold showed up at the very end, the last 3 minutes. But the whole game, that O-line actually played like it was one of the best in the league, shockingly. But what people don't realize, even in that game where the man got sacked 10 times, he should have got sacked 20. But how many times did he hit his hot and check his alerts? The blitz coming off the edge, bam, quick slant to the guy that should have been guarding him right away. See, but Miami, what do? We got to play since the blitz is coming over here, but that guy is actually going to be my second or third progression. And I hike the ball and I still go through 1, 2, and now I'm pressured to throw to the 3. When automatically, when you hike that ball because you saw the guy coming, that should have been your hot. You should have hit him. Forget 1 and 2 read the progressions of 1 and 2. You're supposed to hit the guy that's supposed to be guarding the blitzer right away. You know who real good at that? Mac Jones did that very well, especially against us. Still got a lot of flaws, but he did that very well. That's the difference. We call a freaking play. Our guy knows first read, second read, come back this way for the third read. But that third read guy might be blitzing. That means he turns into your first read. That guy is hot. But we don't do that. That's the difference. And guess what? You hit that hot, the right tackle don't look bad then. You go through your progressions, now the right tackle look bad because the blitzer came and he struggled with him, whatever. Y'all do know every O-line struggles, but it is also up to the quarterback to protect them. Tom Brady said it better than anybody. He said, man, defenders are being held responsible to take care of the offensive player, protect the offensive player, and it's just backwards. He said if a guy gets hit hard at the quarterback position, and it's not the defender's fault. He didn't even call his protection properly. Tom Brady said that. Tom Brady said it. He said we penalize guys for mediocre play. You got hit hard because you didn't even call your protections and it was right there in front of you. And the defender gets penalized for it. And I was shocking Tom Brady is the one who said it. He said a defender gets penalized for it, but it should be on the quarterback because he didn't call his protections. TD, does Tua strike you as a smart quarterback? Not at all. Because he's never been able to read all 3 levels of the field. I feel like he already knows where he's going to go with the ball before he goes. And if it looks so bad, then he panics. We've already know he's had problems learning the playbook. And like, I'm going to be honest with y'all, we didn't talk about this as much back then. But the truth of the matter is there was zero excuse not to learn the playbook. And people has gone as far as to say, well, he didn't think he would play. You just got drafted 5th overall in the freaking NFL and you don't learn the playbook because you thought you wouldn't play. Come on, y'all. Is we gonna go that far for real? No, he just saying he don't learn as fast. I believe that's just the issue. He don't learn as fast. Let's see how fast he learns his current playbook. Let's see. Let's all be positive. We going in the right direction. Stop the negativity. The fans tailgate. Okay. I don't know what this person talking about. Nobody's being negative. TD, which free agent QB next year are we getting? I hope none. I hope Tua just turns the corner and becomes a great quarterback, plays very well, and starts to refine himself and become a master of the game. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's all that matters, man. Because they'll be nice if we can do that. We can use them picks next year to bring in replacements for the future. We need some corners for the future. Don't forget that, ladies and gentlemen. We need some corners for the future. 2 years from now, we might be cornerless. And if we not cornerless, we walking cane corners, old corners, 32 years old and stuff corners. So I hope Tua becomes the dude and balls out, because we'll be able to keep all our assets to start to have guys. The goal is to have guys in 2023 drafted in the first round, second round, and third round, playing behind the current guy to take over eventually. That's the goal. If we don't accomplish that, right back in the rebuild. If we can accomplish that, we're headed in the right direction, and we can start to save some money, and we can absorb this kick in the can thing. So the truth is, we all need Tua to succeed this year. We all need him to be without a shadow of a doubt quarterback and just be great, because it's the only way for us to have long-term success at this point, in my opinion. So we'll see, and I hope he does. Just hope he's putting in enough work in all facets of the game, not just his conditioning, but his comprehension, his learning the playbook. See, once you know the whole playbook in and out, you can own it. You can experiment with it. You can play with it. You could throw it up against all type of defenses. You could do all kind of stuff. We'll see, man. We'll see. Anywho, we coming up on 2 hours, man. This was awesome. I'm glad that I can come back and have a great stream with you all tonight. I think we had like 600 people hanging out, rocking with us, man. It was just exciting. Good times. Outside of that, man, me and my wife, we did have a discussion on this week. She wants to be more involved and, have some fun online and stuff, just, like a hobby type deal. So we decided we're going to go back on our Dow family channel and kind of do like a podcast thing where we discussing just normal things in life and stuff like that, just talking it through. So if you want to go check out our other channel, the Dow family, the DOWE, okay, the Dow family, go subscribe to that, because we're going to start, like doing like podcast episodes where me and her are just sitting there talking about current events, certain things in life, and marriage and all type of inside stuff like that, man. So it'll be pretty cool. And I'll have an announcement coming at some point that should be pretty exciting for you guys and my family. So we'll talk about that coming up soon. Somebody said no entanglements. Nah, we ain't having no entanglements, man. Well, at least we hope not, right? The last one, the man was the victim, so I hope not, right? We'll see. At the end of the day, we keep God. The only entanglement that we involve ourselves in is God, and as long as we're entangled with Him, ain't no room for no other discourse to come through. But anyway, outside of that, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming through, hanging out with me tonight. I love y'all so much. Fins up, no matter what. Shout out to Carla. Tua is trash. I'm gonna challenge you. Tua is trash. I'm gonna challenge you to change your name to something positive. Let's have some hope into it, right? Try to change the name. See if you can do it. Congrats on paying for an aging wide receiver, the most money ever in NFL history. You guys now broke and will have no money for the rest of the roster. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Dylan, appreciate you coming through. I've seen you in here most of the night hanging out. Clemente, appreciate you. Love you, brother. Amen. Wacko, Andres. Anyway, man, I'm out of here. I'm about to go hang out with the wife, lay it down, chill. I will see y'all soon. Fins up, no matter what. Peace. I am out. Let's go get the Super Bowl. Please.